It is 6:30. I'm calling to order the Elgin City Council meeting, February the 20th, 2024. And we'll begin roll call with Love.
Love here.
Callahan here.
Rodriguez here.
Dennis here.
McShann here.
Gibson here.
Swain here.
And let's note that Joy I'm going to get her name right. Don't tell her I didn't do it right. Kozanowski is out of town. And Miss Mayor Pro Tem is out sick. So,
Mayor, I make a motion that we excuse him for
And I'll
this evening.
say.
we'll begin with Love.
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Rodriguez, yes.
Dennis, yes.
McShann, yes.
Gibson, yes.
Swain, yes.
And Councilmember Rodriguez, are you invocating, right?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
righty, thank you.
Lord, thank you for this opportunity to come together tonight. Thank you for calling us together so that we can face the challenges ahead of us as one in the hopes of providing a better future. It's together that we can create a positive change in culture for our growing community and the challenges ahead. Thank you for the opportunity to serve the citizens and the city of Elgin. Thank you for the many blessings and opportunities you have bestowed upon us, our families, our friends, and our community. We understand that not all are called to serve, but those who are know that it is through you, your mercy and your grace, that we make a positive impact. Guide us as we work together tonight in the future, so we may make positive decisions in the best interest of all. Amen.
You have it. Stand for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag?
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Do we have any public comments? Okay. Oh, no, I guess we'll just move right on.
Thank you, Mayor. We, tonight on the manager's report, we have actually have an action item under the manager's report to mainly to share some good news, continuing good news about our farmers market here in town. And actually, the action tonight on this resolution would be to amend our agreement, our parks use agreement with the Farmers Market Group, because they plan to start having Sunday brunch down at Veterans Park as part of the Farmers Market. So that's a good thing. Is Christina here? I thought she was here. I thought you might could just mention what great success you're having down there and how the staff and the city manager are really great to work with.
I mean,
But
that
it's
goes
very-
without saying.
It's very exciting what you've accomplished. Anybody's been down there is glad to see it, but we
Yeah.
assume all the participants are happy with how things are working.
Yes. Yeah. So last year we were able to keep $126,977 within the local community. So that's total sales for all of our vendors over the period 2023. And that was an increase of about 10,000 on the year previously. So I'm very excited about that. We've also spent 18% of market income, so that's the income we get from vendors on paying local musicians to perform every week, which is another big draw. Overall, we have an average vendor number of 13 every week, and that obviously increases this time of year when there's more produce. It dips in the summer when it's very hot and during the very cold weeks. So on a very good week, we'll have 22 vendors, and they're selling everything from local meat, produce, crafts. It's just a really lovely space. I'm sure you've all been, and you go every week. What we're asking for today, last year we started a new initiative, which was a Sunday brunch market. So the Thursday markets, we hold the market on a Thursday because most of our vendors do the bigger markets in Austin and Taylor at the weekends, and we simply don't have the numbers to be able to compete with that. What we would like to do, because there is a part of our community that can't make it on a Thursday evening, is to start doing a monthly brunch market on a Sunday. We want to coincide that with other events that are happening downtown, specifically Fireworlds Brunch. I know Molly Alexander is organising a vintage fair that same weekend, March 10th. I know that most of the stores downtown open at around noon, so having the market from 11 till 2 will nicely sort of dovetail, bring people downtown for the market, and then hopefully they'll stay to experience the other shopping options there are. We also, last year, we tried it in different locations to bring the market to other businesses. But now we have SNAP in place, so the Lone Star cards, we're able to accept those at the market along with the double up food bucks. So we're able to match up to $30 for every SNAP participant. So if someone uses $30 on their SNAP card, they get an extra $30 to spend on fruits and vegetables, which I think is amazing. That is tied to our market location, so we have to be at Veterans Park, which is why we're requesting that additional Sunday once a month to be able to use the space. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I'd just say that we, those who've been here a long time know there's been different reiterations of the farmers market, and truthfully, part of the reason why I think the other situation didn't always work out is because we didn't have the kind of working relationship, mutually respectful relationship between the market and the staff. But this group we have now is really easy for us to work with, and vice versa. And so that's one of the big reasons I think it's been a success.
Yeah,
So.
And we're very grateful for all the support we've had from the city, not just sort of the official, but from this, the community as a whole. It's been wonderful.
So this action tonight is just technically to obviously the market operates under an agreement with the city, and that agreement stipulates Thursday night. So technically, this what's been described tonight necessitates an amendment to the agreement. That's the action item for tonight.
I hear a motion.
Second.
Make a motion to follow the.
Okay, I want to give that to Matthew and second to Arthur. And we'll begin with Callahan.
Callahan, yes.
Rodriguez, yes.
Dennis, yes.
McShane, yes.
Gibson, yes.
Swain, yes.
Love, yes.
Motion carries.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate your time.
Council also has in their packets our quarterly reports from both the EDC and the Main Street Board. As always, we can answer any questions council might have about any of those either tonight or later. And then we do have a representative from the library board here tonight to give us a report. Fill us in on the exciting things happening here at the library.
Yeah, always exciting things at the library. Good evening, Mayor Michon and City Council members. I'm Laura Stow. I'm a long-standing board member of the Friends of the Elgin Library. And last year I talked to you about our Project Cafe, which was computer access for everyone. And that was also during February, which is Love Your Library Month. So here I am again in Love Your Library Month. Since installation of these computers, we have had approximately 2,000 Elginites use them. We've heard reports of somebody who applied for a job and got it on one of those computers, and a young woman who applied for a nursing scholarship and is going to nursing school now. And we, the Friends, gifted these 12 computers, brand new computers there, and it just has been a success. So we're very happy with the outcomes and with the support we got from the Elgin Library staff to make sure they were installed properly. I want to tell you about a new initiative that the Friends have that we are funding. It's going to be a collaboration between the Friends, Elgin ISD, and the city. Our goals are to provide free books to children in the Elgin community, to increase early readers and bilingual books in the library collection, and to increase library programming during the summer months. And we are naming this project the Book Bus, or in Spanish, El Bus de Libros, and we will include the first bookmobile for Elgin. And that bookmobile will be loaned to us by the school district, so it'll be a yellow bus. That'll be familiar for kids. It will be staffed by an Elgin teacher and librarian, so those will be familiar faces for those kids. And we will be giving away free books, as well as encouraging children and their families to come into the library for library programming. I want to say a little bit about why we're giving away free books as part of the project. Over the course of my career as professor of educational psychology at Texas A&M, I've learned a lot about literacy development. And research suggests even a small home library makes a big difference in kids' literacy development. And when you look at statistics, in low-income neighborhoods, you see an average of 1 book per 300 children in those neighborhoods. Whereas in upper-income neighborhoods, you see an average of 13 books per child, okay? So huge discrepancy there. So what we want to do as part of this project is build those home libraries, and that's part of our plan here. Our original goal was to distribute 1,200 books to elementary age students. However, in our meetings with Elgin ISD, they encouraged us to include younger kids and include 5th graders and 6th graders. And at our last meeting, the new Elgin ISD superintendent told us about her new initiative, which is Elgin Reads, right? So we're gonna need a heck of a lot more books, right? And they encouraged us to increase our scope of our work. But in just the last 3 weeks, we've had a local organization in this community donate to us $3,000 to buy new books. And we just heard from a nonprofit, a local nonprofit, and they are going to donate 4,500 books to the project. So we're gonna be busy, and that's what we wanna be. We really want to get these materials out. We're also including programming. In just 10 days, we're gonna kick off our programming with Elgin ISD with Read Across America. And so on March the 2nd, it's Dr. Seuss's birthday. The librarians here have planned a program with literacy activities and bingo and birthday cake, right? And then the school district will have their Read Across America. And then on March 8th, we have a book giveaway. We'll have the book bus here. We'll have different activities here at the library. So literally, we're gonna bookend the Read Across America with one activity and with another. So we're very excited about that. I want to conclude with a big thank you and a little bit of history. The reason that we Friends are able to initiate these kind of programs is in part because of a quest that was given to us by a friend of the Elgin Library, Francis Gillum Creech, who lived on Avenue B here in Elgin, and also former friends who built the first library right here and donated this land right here to the city so we could have this library. So we Friends take our mission really seriously, and we thank you for also supporting the library. We think it's a great place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. I guess that's all I had on my report, Mayor, unless anybody has any questions for me or items that are on the agenda.
Any questions? No? Okay, we'll move on to our consent agenda, which includes the minutes from February 6th, a resolution selecting and authorizing an award for professional services provider contract for general land office grant. And then we have a resolution for authorizing the city manager to approve professional service fees with Baird Williams, which is a part of the Elgin Police Station. Any questions, anything need to be pulled from there?
We're still under budget on the police station?
Yes,
Okay.
Right now.
It's the finale.
And how about the schedule? Are we under schedule?
Still on the same schedule. Hopefully summer, June, July, we'll be done. Begin to start occupying them.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve? Okay, Swain,
I'll second.
Rodriguez. We'll begin with Swain,
Swain, yes.
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Rodriguez, yes.
Dennis, yes?
McShane, yes.
Gibson, yes.
All righty. Move on to new business. We have a resolution of the City of Elgin consenting to annexation of 75.608 acres of land into Briarwood Municipal Utility District.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, both of our items under new business pertain to the same project and the same issue, so we're going to kind of talk about those together. This is a unique circumstance for us that we have not seen come forward before. Most of you, I assume, remember the Briarwood Mud that actually is under construction right now. The first phase of it, it's essentially going to wrap around Nidec Elementary, have frontage on both County Line Road and FM 1100. This is actually our first, and to this point only, in-city mud, where it'll be a little bit different than the other muds in that although it's a mud and the residents there will pay mud taxes, they will actually also pay city property taxes and be part of the city. But essentially, it's being developed as a mud, consistent with our other developments. This is a conceptual plan of the project now that, as I said, the first phase is under construction. Like most of our muds, there's a lot of unique attributes to this project that go well beyond the basic requirements for residential development. We're excited about the project, and actually, in its case, because it's an in-city mud, as I said earlier, obviously the taxes will be higher there. So it basically puts the developer in a position to, they're going to have to build a very nice development with plenty of amenities and new additions so that people will decide it's worth it to live there. The MUD is also participating in approving various roads. I'm going to talk about the arterial road and collector road later, but they've committed to $1.5 million toward the County Line Road Fund and have donated almost 1.5 acres of right-of-way free of charge. So this is, you may recall, this is our kind of master transportation plan view, and Briarwood is crucial to this. If you can see, this is the intersection down at 290 where the traffic light is going into West Wind. Now Creeks Crossing has built this road. It's a 4-lane divided roadway that will go through their property and then be picked up here at the westernmost edge of the Briarwood development, and the developer will continue this 4-lane roadway up to an intersection there at 1100, close to the Elgin High School campus. So we're actually, this road between Creeks Crossing is actually built today. This Creeks Crossing is ready to start home development here, and if you drive out here to West Wind and peel off to the Creeks Crossing, you can see this roadway. So what's really important about that is we're actually going to see this 4-lane roadway get built, providing access from a traffic light on 290 all the way to FM 1100, close to the school, while we're constructing phase 2 of County Line Road here. So, and you know, the reality is the situation, just like with Creeks Crossing, the private development, frankly, can build a road a whole lot faster than the city can, particularly when we're getting a $10 million grant for this section of County Line Road. So we're probably actually going to see this roadway, the roadway coming through Creeks Crossing or Briarwood, get built and be usable by the public before we get County Line Road done, but Phase 2 of County Line Road. So Briarwood plays a really important part of that. And then this roadway that intersects with County Line Road right here, which is built into the first phase now, will actually be an east-west route that will eventually connect to Klaus Lane. Will give us an east-west route as well. So the Briarwood mud as it exists today is playing a crucial part in getting transportation roadway improvements out in that end of town as part of our development agreement. Now this is, I've got a few different pictures. These are in your packet. So what is being proposed tonight is the Briarwood developers have now acquired a piece of land on the south side, but adjacent to 290, kind of at the County Line Road intersection. I think this is the Sack and Pack there where Long John Silver's and Kentucky Fried is, and this is Tractor Supply, here to give you kind of local. The white line outlines the property they're developing under the mud, and will create a four-way intersection here where the traffic light is at 290 and West Wind. What is being recommended by the staff tonight is an amendment to the original mud for Briarwood to add this project to that mud. So it'll be one mud that'll fund two different projects or two different locations. This is another topographical map that's in your packet. This is a concept of the basic zoning to have retail and commercial along the frontage of 290, but townhome, kind of multifamily residential to the back. These are the basic elements of this amendment that will add to the mud for this property. 182 townhomes that will, and the 19 acres of mixed use that to be determined will result in a total LUE count of about 406. They've done a traffic impact analysis and will be compliant with that for various road improvements, but those are primarily going to include dedicated turn lanes in and out of the development, right, Bo? No major road improvements because of where it's located. A similar donation to schools. Point is that for whatever reason, Aqua Water Supply didn't want to sell the CCN to the city and wanted to retain it for itself. So the project will receive water service from Aqua, but wastewater from the city. The big news that we're going to talk about in a minute is a huge amount of acres for open space and parkland that will benefit the city as a whole. Of course, they're responsible for floodplain improvements, and another unique element to this project is the developer will donate $400,000 to what our Shenandoah Park Fund. As you know, we've had this as a project in our 5-year plan for some time to primarily, we want to reclaim all the floodplain that's in Shenandoah Park today, and it can probably double the size of that park as far as usable land down there, which will be a great opportunity for us as it's an existing neighborhood and will be a new park, but yet not in a newly developed part of town. And then the parkland we're going to talk about represents probably $1 million investment on their part. So this is a concept plan, again, that shows the project where it'll be developed out front here. But this is a very unique piece of land that they've agreed under this development to develop into a very sizable park with walking trails, different elements to it. I hope you can read that list. It's in your packet as well. But this is kind of what we've looked forward to with other developments. Is one of the challenges we have is most of the MUDs and other developments come forward and we'll do parkland and open space projects. But the challenge is getting a park project that actually benefits the other residents who live in town today, not just parks and facilities that serve just the people that live there. Obviously, with all of these improvements, and you'll notice number J there is pickleball courts. So we're addressing one of the things we've heard about specifically. Basketball courts, walking trails, parking. So this will actually be a park that'll enjoy. So it's a really unique element to a development that we haven't seen before. So
So, excuse me, will
yeah.
that be considered a Briarwood park, or will it be Elgin?
It'll be a public park. Well, it's Briarwoods Park, public property. Briar Road will maintain it. Correct. Just like we've done with Harvest Ridge and the other developments, it will be available, but the HOA or the MUD will be responsible for maintenance of the facility.
And it's accessible from County Line Road
Yes.
on the south side.
All right.
So the
So-
first slide, I don't mean to cut you off, but the first
That's okay.
slide that you had where it stated approximately 772 single-family homes,
Yes.
is this second one a revision of it?
No, this screen is the amendment, what we're acting on tonight. The other screen is the original MUD that's being built.
Okay.
This describes what's being built around Nidec right now. We've already approved this part.
Okay.
So it's kind of a unique mechanism for them as developers, but it's two different locations, and MUD financing standpoint, one of the reasons they can do all these, add all these attributes is the funding mechanism that MUD's allow them to do. So from their standpoint, business-wise, they're putting this all in one basket. But it'll just be two projects.
I was gonna say, so it's two projects then?
Two projects for us. There's no physical connection to the two. Bo, did I leave anything out or anything you want to add?
Captured everything. I'm here for any additional questions.
So the action tonight, the first item is to, separately, we need to act to approve adding this property to the existing Briarwood MUD. And then the second action is to approve the development agreement that includes all these details.
Is there a timeline on when these things will be completed?
It's like any development, it's
All the same.
when the houses get built.
Provisions and everything in the original development agreement. Without certainty, I can always say, usually developments as a whole of this magnitude, you're somewhere between 7 to 12 years over the course, just again, based on how demand is pushing. Road, they literally just finished paving all of their phase one, so you'll actually start to see some vertical homes start to go in the future there.
You can actually drive into both Briarwood and Creeks Crossing now. Just flash your council badge to them when you go in there. But I think one of the big things, frankly, for us is, again, as shown here in red, having land that has frontage on 290 that's truly available for buyers and developers is a big step forward for us. I know people are anxious to see more restaurants and more traditional retail that way, but part of our challenge is having land like this that's available, that's ready to develop, ready to be talked about for development.
And then, I don't know if Tom covered this did go before EDC and the amount of acreage up front in the layout, and then towards comments with this iteration of the park.
Is it typical, I'm sorry, go
So
ahead.
you said Aqua Water is still going to service this. I didn't think they had
Yes.
enough water out here to do that.
They have an 18-inch and a 12, they have that elevated tank that's sitting at a little bit lower zone, but they have an 18-inch that comes off of that tank and goes up County Line Road, and then it also goes down 290.
At the same time.
That doesn't mean the city engineer is saying Aqua has plenty of water to serve
Yeah,
anybody.
I'm not saying that, two different things, but for their
They
system
should be able to
analysis,
serve
they
it.
did want to keep this within their CCN and their board. That was their determination.
That kind of goes with the second question I had, I'm assuming it's typical to split projects like this and then do an amendment, but does this create any sort of a management problem, oversight problem, planning problem for us moving forward when we go into this sort of agreement?
No, I mean, we've worked with Travis County on the right-of-way allocations for County Line Road, which is Travis County south of 290. From an infrastructure standpoint, if you look in the upper left, essentially the limits of the city's infrastructure from a roadway standpoint. It's basically gonna be a large drainage crossing, because the floodplain comes right through there. But all of the infrastructure you'll see on any of those other colored areas, that will still be part of the MUD. It will be private. The city won't be managing within there for any of the, from an infrastructure standpoint. I'd have to defer to the chief or anything else, but they would still be garbage and everything else. They'll still do, just like Saratoga will work with Aqua on the bills for that. For the type of development they're doing, it'll probably be generally easier because you're probably talking about master meters that Aqua would do for the entire developments in those general areas rather than retail per service, because Aqua's trying to get away from that on these types of developments. So you might have 4 different accounts essentially from an invoicing standpoint when it comes to the sewer.
But Bo, this, for us, these are 2 different projects.
Essentially,
Business,
very,
for our
from a
business.
business standpoint, the way that we look
Again,
at it.
it's an advantage for the developer to have it all part of the MUD.
Yeah.
But that part doesn't change how we'll look at them, how we'll manage them.
Right.
Obviously, they'll be on different time schedules. Like I said, it is important to remember, it's the first time we've done this one, this kind of an approach. But yeah, we should say too, that Mark's been involved in reviewing the agreement as well. So at the same time, while it's first for us, it's not a unique thing that hasn't been done. But yeah, to your point, they'll really, from our management standpoint, from development services, they'll be treated like 2 different projects.
So this waste treatment line, excuse me, does this have anything to do with, what's that big subdivision out there, the new line we're putting in?
Brixton? So they will come up with a design that's capable of handling this particular development. When they submit that, we'll work with their engineers to make sure that if it's master planned into the wastewater treatment watershed for future wastewater treatment plant number 2, that we'll look at those, and if it needs be, and we do see a way to oversize things, or that'll be benefit for the city in the long run, that would be a separate 380 agreement that would come back to council for approval if we saw that. But they will be responsible for designing their infrastructure for this community and getting it back over to your system.
Yeah, let's take just a second and talk about that a little bit, just in a bigger picture, Bo, not so much having to deal with Briarwood, but I see this as, and the question about Brixton is an example of what everybody needs to understand when we get the question of, well, do you have all the infrastructure in place for 50,000 people? No, not today. And if we could go out there and build, we know the line Brixton needs, the city could pay to build all that line today, that would match up with our whole system, but that's the point, we'd have to pay for that now. So part of the challenge of this development is the timing of when they come along. And so we've got that, but given where they're at, haven't put the first shovel in the ground, it wouldn't be correct for us to make make investments planning on them going forward, because we don't know when that's going to happen. But it's a good question to understand that if we knew every development that was happening and exactly when it was happening, then we could build all the infrastructure together and make the developers do that. But unfortunately, they come at us kind of one at a time like this, and that's why we do everything, which we're not going to do.
And so this MUD basically is one that gets MUD benefits, but city benefits as well, right? Am I reading this right?
Yes, but that's the difference. They'll pay city taxes like all the rest of us.
But they get
The other MUDs don't
vote
pay
and
city.
stuff, so they get all the city.
They get all the city services just like
Okay.
anybody
So
else.
then it's gonna be in our ward?
Oh, yeah, it will be.
We haven't voted.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was gonna
It's gonna be in our
ask, when
ward,
do we
Ward
vote for the
2?
ward?
Yeah, we'll have to bring that in after we get it annexed. That's a good point.
Well, it's annexed in right now. You're
Well,
allowing them to be within
Well,
the
that's a
mud
good point.
annexation.
So it's
it's
already in the
It's
ward.
already in the
That's
ward,
right.
as it
That's
stands right now.
Oh, okay.
All, the annexation is we're annexing it into the mud, into their mud, not, that's right. Sorry,
Okay.
got confused there.
I'm good.
Any more questions? So we'll look for a motion on the first one, being consenting to annex those number of acres of land into Briarwood Utility District.
I'll make it.
Swain?
I'll second.
And we'll begin with Swain.
Swain, yes.
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Rodriguez, yes.
Dennis, yes.
McShane, yes.
Gibson, yes.
On the second item, if I could, Mayor, I had talked about this before, but I just realized today I didn't catch this when we put this forward. If you recall, the last time we had a few folks here, I think some of the feedback we got was interpreting these agreements, development and consent agreement meant they were like development agreements DDC makes, which they're not. So these titles should say consent and development. When we're doing a mud like this, all the council is doing is saying, if you want to build what you told us you're going to build, then we consent to let you build that. That's why we don't get upside down on any of these deals. So I'm going to work on clarifying that as we go forward, is that we don't make any financial commitment to the developer. The city doesn't get upside down financially on these deals. The primary thing we're doing is simply saying, it's okay with us if you build what you say you're going to build at your cost.
Any questions about that? And then I'll entertain a motion. Matthew?
I'll second.
Okay. And we'll begin with Callahan.
Callahan, yes.
Rodriguez, yes.
Dennis, yes.
McShane, yes.
Gibson, yes.
Swain, yes.
Love,
Okay, it is, let's say 7:09, and pursuant to section 55.071, consultations with attorney to deliberate with legal counsel regarding pending or contemplated litigation. State of Texas versus City of Elgin. 7:40, and we are reconvening from executive session. And no action was taken. Well, I was trying to get all that out. Amy's not here for announcements?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
my announcement
Where's Amy?
lady's not here. She's at a training thing out of town. No, I take that back. She's visiting her brother in Connecticut. So she's seeing some snow.
You're giving the announcements, Tom?
I guess not.
Well, we have our,
We got sued by the
Not very
Attorney
snow.
General, but, oh, that's not much of an announcement.
don't go.
I guess not.
Okay, so y'all look through all of these, because this has a whole lot of stuff in it, so I think that's what they did. They just put everything in there. All right, so then, nothing else?
No, I'm good.
All right. City manager got a haircut. It is 7:42, and we are